Microphone. Second thing, I host a show on Mondays by the name of Verbal Essence. It's free, it's similar to this. It's family oriented. We run from 7 until 10 p.m. If you're familiar with Three Layers Cafe, we're there. It's an amazing show. The reason I am here and I came up early is because one, I have other obligation, but two, we're throwing a block party. If you guys know about, how many of you know, by raising hands, about the letter from Birmingham jail, written by Dr. Martin Luther King? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Well, next week is the 50th anniversary of that letter. So we're throwing a block party to commemorate it next Monday, the 8th, at 5 p.m. We're going to go from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. There'll be vendors out there. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to hand out some business cards once I leave from here so you guys can get some information about that. But other than that, I'm a man of information. This month is Child Abuse Prevention Month. How many of you are aware of that? 1, 2, 3. I knew you were aware because I said it earlier. But 3 people. What I do is I go to a lot of schools and I talk to kids and I perform for them and I open up to them and they open up to me. Like some of these kids, that's my mentee right there. You dad. But in talking to them, they tell me their stories. And this poem I'm getting ready to do is about child abuse. And I need you guys to listen to these words because these are true stories. And we can go from there. So I want you guys to say, God doesn't play card games.
God doesn't play card games.
Her little innocent eyes could never well up enough tears to care the sick-hearted of a father. See, he treated her more like a miniature lover than dogs her. See, he taught her weird statements in an attempt to rationalize to her adolescent mind and him fondling the body that he gave life in those repulsive ways, which is fine. See, he said things like, it's perfectly normal because on the animal planet, you know, lions get the cubs clean with the tongue, or this makes you and I close as he pleasures himself and forces his little daughter to watch until he's done, or don't tell anyone the special things that you and daddy do because they never understand our type of fun. See, a mixture between his brainwashing and her desire for his daddy's little girl approval always kept her from ever seeing a peep. But the pain in deep and vast parts of her eyes, they told stories that her mouth could never form words to speak. See, the type of memories that haunted the realm of rapid eye movement and nocturnal sleep. And see, when she wasn't being played by little monsters during slumber, the voices in her head would persuade her to harm herself habitually. I mean, she would literally take a sharpened edge and run it almost statistically like a bow of a violin across her forearm until she bled. See, he had her so messed up in the head that the little stripes of red, the place where she held all her pain, in the whites of her eyes, and the blue bruises she wore like physical memoirs, but daddy had been too rough on her little frame, made her grow to despise not only her God-given name, with the sight of the American flag exactly the same. See, for her, this was no land of the free. And life wasn't turning out like any American dream or how her adolescent fantasies had imagined it be. So after every time daddy tore away with little chance she had in an ordinary existence, she would pull herself up to the edge of the bed that had way too many degrading memories, and she would shout out on her knees. She would say that sometimes I just really wish I could get my hands on God, just to hold him face to face and ask him, why do I have to live a life that's so hard? And though they say that God has never dealt me one of them proper cards, can I get a redeal, a reshuffle, or perhaps just another draw? He shouts out, as if someone were trying to whip his soul from this earthly vessel. And though they take much enjoyment out of this, to him, family moments like this are anything but special. See, a brown extension cord held tightly in hand, lands on epidermis, wraps around his frame and leave marks that show evidence of bruised muscle. See, they always tag teamed him. One clenching the back of his neck so his face suffered carpet burns, and the other. They swung so hard that he swore every bolt of that cord was one step closer to him being cut in half, and to add insult to blatant injury, his carpet-muffled whimpers that made them laugh. See, the number of raised welt lines was dwarfed by the number of times they carried on with this abusive marathon upon the legs, backs, and arms that belonged to a child whose impressionable mind was too young to comprehend abuse. And their excuse for leaving tattered and bloody the body that unprotected fornication had given existence, they told him each beating was a lesson into life. And told him that unless he became strong and learned to fight back, that no one would ever treat him right, always telling him he was stupid and he would always be at a disadvantage. And unless he became strong and learned to fight back, there was no way he could ever possibly manage or even halfway attempting living normally. For a child to be made to believe he was stupid and that the very destruction of his body makes him better, how can he fathom what normal would be? So after every time his parents yelling and screaming ceased due to intoxicated slumber, he would fall to his knees in a room that had way too many degrading memories, and he would shout out to God. He would say that sometimes I just really wish that I could get my hands on God, just to hold him face to face and ask him, why do I have to live a life that's so hard? And though they say that God has never dealt me one of them proper cards, can I get a redeal, a reshuffle, or perhaps just another draw? Now this is for you and me. See, sometimes it's our responsibility to answer those prayers that haven't quite made it to heaven yet. See, no child should suffer a loss because their parents aren't playing with the full deck. So unless we want the innocence in children to demise, unless we help out, that's all we should expect. So when you see something, but you say nothing, that means you don't expect change. But when you see it and you overlook it, that means to you that abuse is not strange. And this ain't one of them situations you can help out by sparing a little loose change. No, this isn't that. So the next time you all look into that child's eyes and you see that pain, that hurt, and that neglect, imagine them at home, alone, slowly pulling themselves off the ground to one knee, and slowly and painfully pulling themselves up to both feet. And with the frailness and just weakness of their little bodies, just reaching up as high as they can reach and screaming out to God that just sometimes I just really wish that I can get my hands on God, just to hold him face to face and ask him, why do I have to live a life that's so hard? And though they say that God has never dealt me one of them proper card, can we please give these children another chance, another shuffle, perhaps just one more card? Thank you.